Okay, here I have a couple of adapters for the Sony E-series cameras that would allow to use other lenses on them, and these are smart adapters. This particular one here is produced by Sony itself, and this is the Sony LA-EA4 adapter. It's a full frame smart adapter, allowing you to connect an A-series, either Sony or Minolta type A autofocus lens mount on this end, and then on the other end two E-mount size for your E-mount camera. And it works with quite a wide variety of A-series lenses. I mean, to give you an example, here I have a printout of some of the lenses that it'll work with, and these are just like the Sony ones. It'll also work with Minolta autofocus A-series. And so that is one adapter to consider, and it works very well. I've tried it on a few of my A-series, and it works perfectly fine, giving you a lot of the electronic controls, which include the autofocus, auto exposure, all that stuff. And on the, in fact, it has the screw drive for the lenses on there, so it'll autofocus for you, much like the Nikon TC16A of the past was able to do. So that's the Sony LA-EA4 full frame smart adapter, A-series to E-series. Another adapter to consider. After trying out different adapters, I found that it's difficult to find one that will work with Nikon very well, but this particular one that I had heard about and did buy, it's not cheap, but it seems to allow the most compatibility with the most Nikon lenses that have autofocus lenses that have the built-in motor. And it has a good set of features. It will work with, I tried it with a variety of lenses so far, and it works really great with them. Even with, I have a Sigma 150 to 500, which it works great with. It even supports the image stabilization that's built into the lens. And so for the price, I think it gives me the best investment when I want to use Nikon lenses on the Sony camera. And so that's that one. The features I would have, highlights are autofocus capable with Nikon AFI, AFS, AFP lenses, and manual focus only with screw drive and manual focus lenses. Automatically recognized in supporting both the electromagnetic and mechanic lever controlled aperture, supporting human and animal eye autofocus if the body is capable, supporting high-speed continuous shooting up to 10 frames per second if the body is capable, supporting the lens's VR function for Nikon lenses, designed with detachable tripod mount, supporting F-mount teleconverters, easy upgrading of firmware by simply connecting the camera body and computer with USB cable. So that's that one. This I've had probably the most luck compared with other adapters, and so this is probably one of the few ones I would recommend. This is the Monster LAFE1 adapter, and it's very solidly built. And the list, which I won't go into here, includes such a wide amount of compatible lenses that it will work with, that it's certainly one in which I would recommend this one if you are looking to really need a good autofocus adapter that for Nikon to Sony, which really tries to send along the lens data as much as possible to the camera body as far as aperture controls and for built-in stabilization within the lens, things like that. But it's pricey, it's up there. But if you really need Nikon lens, this Nikon lens adapter to Sony, this is probably the one that I would recommend. It has worked for me, and I'll continue to try it out with various lenses, but so far it hasn't really let me down. Now, its compatibility with the camera, it works with my Sony A7R2 camera body very well. It doesn't seem to want to work quite as well with some of the other Sony bodies, where it does have certain trouble with being able to autofocus. But for this, it seems to be compatible with certain bodies. You probably want to look it up on the internet as far as what bodies it would currently be able to handle with whatever firmware is currently in it. And but it has worked pretty well for me. So that's the Monster LAFE1 Nikon to Sony E-Smart adapter, full frame. So